We're honored with the presence of our wonderful Mufti Sahib from Trinidad. He's one of the main Muftis of Trinidad, and they've met us and they entertained us highly when we went for Dawah, when Azhar went for Dawah in Trinidad and Tobago. So we first of all welcome you with open heart and open arms, and congratulations to being here. Unfortunately, Sheikh Ahmed is actually in Morocco at the moment in time for Dawah, but hopefully they're here. Affairs is still running, gushing to us all the way from there to here as well. So there's no deprivation for us. So just a reminder what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to recite the askars of protection. But first of all, आपका niyat durust कर ले. Make sure that your niyat is right, that we're doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for His pleasure. Then the three keys of presence, that Allah subhanahu is with me, is watching me, is listening to everything what's actually going through my heart and my mind. Then we recite for the askars of protection. So ek dafa one time Surah Fatiha, one times Ayatul Kursi, one times, three times Ikhlas, Falak and Nas in that order. So Ikhlas, Falak and Nas, and then we're going to blow in our hands and then wipe all over our body, all over all our body, and that's it. That's the amount of protection. And then bring in the three states of the heart of tawadu, of humbleness, that Ya Rabbal Alameen, I am nothing, I know nothing, I am full of sins. I am for me to be sat here is a privilege, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Then think of the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of being thankful and being shukrdar towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, grateful to all the blessing that is bestowed upon us. That Ya Rabbal Alameen, you have guided us, you have shown us the path, Ya Rabbal Alameen. It is you who has actually given us this way which you can actually achieve your qurbanness. Thank you, and we praise you, Ya Rabbal Alameen. And then be in a state of what? Tawakkul, reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not on your ilm, not on your amal, not on your sincerity, not on anything of yours, nothing. We put our complete trust and tawakkul upon Allah Azza wa Jal, on His power. A lot of times what happens is that, oh, I am not seeing anything, oh, I am not this, I am that. If you don't make yourself nothing and you don't believe that you are nothing, then don't expect, and you don't have the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you to help you to go through that, then you are going to get nothing. But what you have to think is that I am nothing, I know nothing, and there is nothing in me to suggest that I can actually achieve anything like this. So I rely on His fazl, on His power, on His grace for me to actually achieve any openings and for me to tap into the spiritual world. That is pivotal, that you keep this mindset all the time. And this is where beginners, they actually find it difficult. But if you have these three states of heart, it's like it starts off the engine for you to actually hopefully go and traverse in the spiritual world. As soon as we recite it, then we're going to do the beginning amals. One time Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, three times Astaghfar, three times Durood, three times La Hawla wa la Quwwata illa billah. And then we start with the process, the cleansing of Latifa. Is that first of all we do the preparatory Latifa, where we think the name of Allah is white in color above the sky. And then what we're going to do, light is going to come from the name of Allah, and then white light is filling all our inside our bodies, our cells, our veins, every single atom of our body is being enlightened, is being cleansed. And then as we breathe out, when we're going to breathe out, we imagine that all this darkness, anxiety, depression, whatever you want to, all negativity, negative energy is going out when we breathe out. Breathe in, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, light of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming in, fills up. And then as we breathe out, all darkness and evil is coming out. After that, we'll do this for about 1 minute or so. And then what we're going to do, we're going to start with the, first of all, the red Latifa, the name of Allah will be red in color. And then what will happen, the red light is called the name of Allah, we're going to breathe in. It goes through our nose and it's going to go all the way down to our red Latifa, which is below the navel, near privacy area. And then as we breathe out, He energizes that Latifa, cleanses it, and then whatever filth, rust, whatever it is, all light is going to come out from the back, from our back. Like we're going to do this for about a minute or so, and then we'll do We'll do the orange Latifa, so which is name Allah Santa will be orange in color. Then what happens? The same thing. Imagine the name Allah Santa, the orange color, orange Noor is coming from the blessed name Allah Santa. We breathe in, and it goes all the way down to the orange Latifa, which is on the belly button. And as we breathe out, the light is exiting from the back. Then it goes to the orange Latifa. Name Allah Santa will be orange in color. Again, yellow in color, yellow Latifa. And then what happens is that yellow Noor is coming from the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Breathe in the yellow light. It goes all the way to the yellow Latifa, which is above the navel, which is in the stomach area. And as we breathe out, it exits from the back. Then the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will be green in color. Green Noor is coming out from the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, coming down, all the way down. As we breathe in, we breathe in the green light. It goes all the way down to the green Latif, which is based in your chest. And as we breathe, it activates it, energizes it. As we breathe out, it exits from the back of the chest. Then the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will be light blue. We'll do this again, light blue. Noor is coming from the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. As we breathe in, goes to the nose and it hits our throat. That's where the light blue Latifa is, in the throat area. As we breathe out, it goes from the back of the neck. Then this is the difference, is that when we're going to think the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is dark blue or indigo color, as we breathe in, it goes directly to the dark blue Latifa, which is on the forehead. And then as we breathe out, it comes from the back of the head. And the last one, the crown of the Latifa, which is white, we're going to think the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is white in color. As we breathe in, it goes all the way to the crown Latifa, which is above the head, just like the position of where my mom is, just above the head. And then as we breathe in, it hits the Latifa. As we breathe out, it goes all the way from the back. That's the cleansing Latifa done. Then we're going to think the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is white in color. Light is now coming in. And what it's doing is that as we breathe in, the light comes all the way to the crown Latifa, going all the way to the red Latifa. It's enlightening it, it's energizing it, activating it. As we breathe out, light goes up. Breathe in, light goes down. It's filling, making us bigger and bigger and bigger. Inside, the light is filling up, making us bigger. Eventually, as the Latifa's acting, is like shimmering like a rainbow. Light expands the body. Your body gets bigger and bigger. Your body starts disappearing. Okay? As the body starts disappearing, what happens? You're left with the Latifa, your breath, and your spirit. What will happen is that eventually, then one by one, the Latifa will go out. It's like starting your engine now. You're about to go blast off. You're going to breathe your spirit into your spiritual body. So one by one, the Latifa will turn out. The spiritual centers will turn out. And then you're left with your breath, and you're left with your spirit. At that point, you're going to create the spiritual body for your imagination. Visualize your spiritual body. And then when the time is given, you're ready, you're breathing out, then breathe your spirit to your spiritual body. As soon as you do that, you transfer. That's known as the golden breath. You transfer yourself to the spiritual body. As soon as you transferred yourself to the spiritual body, find Sheikh Ahmed Tabbagh. Find our master, wherever they are, you find them. And then inshallah, go to, because mashallah, by the grace of Allah, try to actually go to Fez, Morocco. Spend your time there, or wherever you have been told to go in your spiritual journey, your spiritual ascension, whichever maqamat you're at, go to that destination and actually do your own individual journey from that, okay? So this will not be a guided tour. It will be something that I'm just going through for the benefit of Muftisab, so that you're actually aware of how to do the amals and the exercises. Once you then transfer, we're going to spend about 10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes, and then inshallah Aziz, we'll get some feedback after that, okay? So, is everybody clear? Clear? Inshallah Aziz. So, we're not so you practice this and see how that goes, and hopefully we'll do this for about 10-15 minutes for about 10 minutes or so, the breathing and the cleansing, 10-15 minutes, and then 10-15 minutes or so after we transfer and spend time in the spiritual world. Whichever place that you have been told to go, you go there. But generally speaking, because they're actually there in Fez Sharif, then try to actually go with herself to Sayyidina Abu Zabarahullah and the Mashaykhs in Al Maghrib in Morocco. Try to visit them if you want to and actually get some nasiya from them. Okay? So that the light uncle inshallah is the Musa. So near Darskal and then be in the presence of Allah, the three kids, Allah is with me, He's watching, He's seeing me, He's hearing everything that's going through my heart, my mind. And then we're going to recite the amals for protection, and then hopefully with the three states of heart and mind, and then after which we'll recite the beginning amals, and then I'll tell you to commence. You'll know to start the breathing, the cleansing of the Latifas, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسي السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا bring in the three states of heart and mind, that of humbleness, of thankfulness, and of reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just repeat after me. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أستغفر الله وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه اللهم يا ربي بجاه نور وجهك الكريم وبفضلك العظيم اجمع بيننا وبينك في الدنيا قبل الآخرة اللهم يا ربي بجاه سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم اجمع بيننا وبين سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله في الدنيا قبل الآخرة اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Now inshallah Aziz, you may begin the process of cleansing the Latifa. Inshallah Aziz, and there may be some naat and nasheed played in the background to help you. Allah, 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 La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Subhanaka Allah bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Inshallah, it's your time to actually give any feedback if there is any. Any of you brothers like to give some feedback of whatever you experience?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I found our master and teacher in Fez, Morocco, and I was walking around with them around the graveyard, Babel photo with all the brothers here, and whenever they spoke about any grave similar to the video that came out today, the personality would appear, and then each and every personality was wishing and praying that they lived in the time of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh, and some of them had done, and then others were also distraught that they lived in the time of our master Sayyidina Ahmad Dabbagh. And then I started to hear some of the brothers weeping and crying that how we have taken their life and time and not even repaid it with a moment of effort. And then when I realized and thought about this, I also started to feel heavy at heart that even I have not done this as well. And then all the remainder of the vision, I was just looking at them, and that's how it ended.
Truly indeed, if anything is that, like we keep on saying and emphasizing to people, is that many times you wish to see and have interaction with different mashayikh. For us, our maqsad is complete, and we feel as though we are successful the moment that we can see our master Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. If you see that, you've reached your destination, alhamdulillah, you've reached the goal, you reach your destination, alhamdulillah, endpoint. And the more that you see and gaze and glance at our master Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh, the more that you actually glance at them, the clearer other mashayikhs will be, the clearer the visions will be, the clearer other elements of the spiritual world will become, and your hearing will become clearer, your sound will become clearer, everything just becomes more clear and cleansed and tangible. The more you can look and have mushahada of one shaykh, the better. MashaAllah, is good.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. At the Latifa stage, at the first stage, as in you're breathing and imagining the light entering the body, and all the darkness and sins and everything here coming out. The two breaths went pretty hard, and then the third one, sort of all the darkness came out, and then the rest of the Latifa, it was as though I was sort of asleep. As soon as I woke up, I saw our master Sheikh Ahmad Dabbagh sat where Ustad Qais is sat, and then I went over and presented my salams, and they asked that, where would you like to go? And I mentioned that, oh Hasab, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay here with yourself. And they mentioned that that is the correct answer. And then from there, a sort of another window opened where all the mashaykhs of Tariqa Muhammadiyya were there, and meeting them and conveying Islam's to them while Hasab was still there as well. And then Hasab kept giving me a glass of water to give to each mashayikh. And then we got to the Prophet ﷺ, and then while we was in the barg of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ then the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned and first of all they gave Islams, and then after they gave Islam, it was mentioned that to the nearest effect that where would you like to go? And again I mentioned that, O Prophet of Allah that I don't want to go anywhere. Wherever yourself is, I'm okay. You're here. And they mentioned again that that is the correct answer. And then they went and they took us to Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. And they mentioned that whenever it gets difficult, just remember the life of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, where even his own family, but it was extremely difficult for him. So there's lessons in their life for us. And then they mentioned and then we went to Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and in the time of Bani Israel, and they mentioned that even your close ones and those people and even they will leave. And then they went to Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, and in that time they mentioned about Tawbah. And then we went back to Medina Sharif, and while we was in Medina Sharif, and the Prophet ﷺ, they mentioned that, is there any personal questions you want to ask? So I asked that I want to be more steadfast. I want to do more and sacrifice more. And they mentioned that you have to take it in stages. You can't go to stage at 20 before you don't hit your stage 1 or 2 or 3. They mentioned that you carry on with you're doing your zikrs and the scars and what Ustad Qais mentioned. And then they mentioned that who wants to sacrifice their lives, and all the brothers were here, and also Mufti Sahib was there as well, and various people put their hands up, and the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that how does a person sacrifice their life, and no one gave the answer. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that a person sacrifices their life, then they first have to sacrifice the years, and before they sacrifice the years, they have to sacrifice the months, and before they sacrifice the months, they have to sacrifice the weeks, and before they sacrifice the weeks, they have to sacrifice the day, and before they sacrifice the day, they have to sacrifice the hour, and then the minute. And they mentioned that the cause of tazkiyah and of your purification, the cause of your Tariqa Muhammadiyya, is about sacrificing one's life in the invert tartib, and from there the vision faded away.
MashaAllah, quite a lengthy vision there, but some gems of guidance there for you as well, and Nasir there. In every aspect, you've been more or less, let me just tell you categorically that one is never free of being tested, and then and again you will be tested as to, in other words, to see if your mindset and your mentality has actually changed to according to what is required on the spiritual path. The first should be that in front of your shaykh you shouldn't want anything, not be anywhere, not actually. For you, the first session is the shaykh, in oneness of shaykh, and basically being dead in front of others. Well, your desires and so on should all be dead in front of one shaykh. So in other words, is that whatever they wish, just like say Imam Ghazali rahmallah, what they said is that you should be like the mayyit, dead person. Dead mayyit is that, and the shaykh is like the person giving you ghusl and bath. In other words, is that whatever they instruct you to do, whatever they tell you to do, whatever they don't even say anything even. This is alhamdulillah sufficient. Sometimes we take it for granted for the fact that you should really appreciate the fact that hum to pata what is inside us. Every single one. Look, I'm saying this from a brother to a brother. We all know what is inside us. There's no point of actually saying, oh, I am this and that. Some of you say he's ustaz or he's amir, we are brothers. We all know what is our weaknesses, what is inside, what is our deficiencies. But never, ever, ever lose of the fact that it is an extreme privilege and an extreme honor just to be sat at the same place, the same venue as Sheikh Madaba, our own teacher. Basha, we don't deserve it. Our amaz is such that it doesn't deserve to actually be anywhere near. But it is absolutely extreme fazl of Allah that we are actually even sat. Some of you may be thinking, oh, I have not seen, I have not shook hands. Just be so grateful for the fact that you can even sit at the same time, you can even cast a glance at our own beloved Master, let alone speaking or conversing. Just to shukr of that you can actually do that. So first stage here, if you can be, if you can just see, and if you can just be and be content, and by in the spiritual world that you are in front of one shaykh, alhamdulillah, not wanting to go there here, etc., unless they instruct otherwise. So that's why alhamdulillah, then they said you pass it. The next stage was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is it. Fana fi shaykh, and then once you've actually, fana means that all your desires, all your wants are according to whatever the master, your own master wants in your own shaykh. And then the next step is fana fi Rasul alayhi salam, is that they themselves, you did the dummy wrong with the shaykh, you did the dummy wrong with your own master. Now let's see what you are in front of the Prophet. You should be now ready. Isliye when he was asked, where would you like to go? Again, wanting me, there's me, myself, in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in front of your shaykh, it shouldn't be there. So you're always being tested. You are not realizing how you are not free. Myself, yourself, my brothers, my sisters, is that we are being tested. You will not appreciate how these wonderful masters of ours, they test us, but you are being tested. You are not for one moment not being tested. You are being tested with every aspect of your life. Not for or to destroy now, but to elevate you and eradicate these diseases which is there, is going to cause harm to me and you in the akhirah. This world as well as the akhirah, eradicated now, so our passage to akhirah, our passage to Jannah is of ease and of tranquility and bliss. So take the consequences now rather than before death comes. Then many people dawah dete hai na, oh, I can give my life, let alone giving life. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, listen, see if you can actually give some months, some weeks, some days. Even they brought it down to the narrowest denominator, is that common denominator is what? Give me some minutes and some hours. Can you sacrifice some minutes and hours for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's like, well, alhamdulillah, mashallah, brother Shabir, he's doing a marathon for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sacrificing his time, his energy for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. trying to raise some awareness and money for the people of Tanzania. MashaAllah, that is called sacrifice. Whatever little bit of sacrifice we can do, maybe a 10-minute here. Some of us are sacrifices. See if we can actually bring somebody, sacrifice somebody from one town to another to a gathering. Another person could be sacrificing, getting up early to open the door for the masjid. Another person could be, just carrying this equipment from one place to another. Sacrifice, whatever way we can give that qurban, let alone for me and you, it's not about giving life as such, it's about sacrificing those moments where you're going to be, if you don't sacrifice in the way of Allah Ta'ala, let me tell you, you'll be sacrificing in the way of dunya. No matter what, it's either dunya or akhirah, dunya or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and akhirah, you will see when brothers request, brothers, whenever a call for goodness actually comes, whenever a call for goodness comes, be it a majlis, be it actually going for a dawah trip or be it for something else, and you could do, and you can, and you could, but really is that you just made excuses, you just didn't want to, that time will be wasted. Rest assured that time there'll be no barakat in that time, whatever you're doing. But if you can exemplify with your body, with your mind, with your heart, and if you can show and demonstrate, Ya Rabbal Alameen, I know this time I could be in ease and comfort, I could relax. And there are times, yes, you give your nafs a break, but we give our nafs too much break. In fact, I don't think we even make our nafs work, let alone giving a break. I don't know even it's working or not. Anyway, give it a break. After you give it a break, if you can show that I can sacrifice that comfort, that relaxation, and I can maybe do another 10 more minutes or 15 more minutes, 1 more hour of dawah, or 1 more hour of working on this clip, or 1 more hour of actually helping this brother, training him up, or 1 more hour of actually educating, or 1 more hour of this. If you do that, Waqi, I'm telling you, honestly, I'm telling you, you start seeing barakat in your time, you start seeing those things that you found difficult to do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala somehow magically is now making it easy for you to do. The thing is, we all want ease, we don't want to go from the discomfort whatsoever. And that's really what we should be trying to do. Just going, a saying of Sayyidina Ali and one of his teachers, one is Nasiha, was that really what we've done is that they say that many people, as you know, when we mention Sayyidina Ghaus Pak, they're giants in the spiritual world. Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar, they're giants in the spiritual world. In the spiritual and spirituality, these are giants. What they said is that we've seen people who are giants in Valaya in the spiritual world, but unfortunately me and you, because of the fact that we're so engrossed in dunya, and we half-heartedly we're actually doing our amals, our deeds, half-heartedly here, little bit here, what's happening is that we're giving more towards the dunya and feeding the nafs and giving comfort to the nafs. And what's happening is that every time we do this, what we've done now is that we made a giant of our own nafs. So in the spiritual world, Sayyidina Ali said, I see that you all as spiritual nafsanic giants. And that's why we're not able to actually lift this. A little thing like prayers and little things like, for example, sheets, little things like dhikr, little things such as actually doing khidmat of deen, a little bit of here, going for dawah here and going for this. We can't do it. Pick another camera, we can't do that. Drop another camera, we can't do that. Because our egos, our nafs has become giant. Deflate it, slain it, kill it with what? With the sword of the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pierce it. And effectively this is what we're neglecting really. Is the bare minimum dhikr that we are supposed to do. Sometimes you feel great, you feel elated, and we can do I can take the whole world, I can recite the whole Quran all night, I feel brilliant. Brother Umair, I'm sure, can do 3-4 hours of salah when he's feeling brilliant. His 2 rakats takes him 20 minutes already, so mashallah, imagine what his 4 rakat or 8 rakat would be. All night he can spend, mashallah. But when there will be a time, there'll be a time when you can't even do 1 minute. And here what we say is that when that time comes, when you feel constricted, you feel really down, stick to the bare minimum. And that is with the bare minimum is the thing that keeps on piercing that nafs, that ego, so that it deflates and it brings you into balance into the deen and dunya. And that is pivotal. So yeah, so inshallah that's good, and what you've been given is that learn to sacrifice from the little, then increase it to a lot. Many times what we think is that when I say give sacrifice, I'm a John there, I can give my life, yes, I'm here. Right, can you just lift this to here, please, brother? Can you give me a hand? Oh, what? No, I cannot do it, brother, I'm busy. What happened to my John there? What happened there? But from here, but it's only from here to there, I cannot do it. I'm too busy. So here is a he saying, telling us the tertib, the prophetic methodology. The prophetic tertib is incrementally developed. That's how he did with the Sahaba Ajma'in, is that he slowly got them to actually rid of these evils and enjoying upon them is good. Slowly, they strengthened the iman and yaqeen, and then they were able to give life just like that, without hesitation. We'll take just one more, inshallah. Just take Mufti Sahab, aap kuch kehna chahiye? How was your experience? Let's take some feedback of you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum
Wa
warahmatullahi
alaikum assalam
wabarakatuh.
wa rahmatullah.
This is my third sitting, inshallah, in MURAQBA since yesterday evening. So after Latifa, when I completed and golden breath I blown, just I tried to imagine like for the embodiment of myself, like somebody, and then I imagine the Sheikh, face of the Sheikh Ahmad master, and then as it was shown in the book, just I keep imagining like I'm that we traveling both together, just we going to the mazar of the Sheikh Sayyid Abdul Aziz and I remember that how in the book there the Sheikh sitting in out of the mazar, and just imagination, just I imagine those things, inshallah.
MashaAllah. Up to what point did you imagine it to?
I imagine first to the mazar of Sheikh Abdul Aziz Dabbagh, and then from there I imagine to the Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu's mazar. Yes, inshallah. Afterwards,
Ultimately, the three things which we can really say in the experience levels are: one is of thought level, another imagination, and another is spiritual. So a thought and imagination level everybody can do. Whoever you are, whatever, you can all do. So mashallah, the more practice on yourself, the more that you do, inshallah, that imagination will then go into reality in terms of spirituality. It'll be a spiritual travel. But Shahid, if you were to actually take out that word and then just describe to me, and next time when one of the brothers do the exercise, just describe, without mentioning, say, I imagine this and I imagine that, just describe up kya dekha. Say, whatever you actually seen, just describe what you seen, and then let the brothers say, well, this was imagination, this was this. They actually, no, you should let you carry on, etc. So just don't worry. So when you went to Shaykh Abdul Aziz Barahullah, when you went to the Mother, did you give salam? Did they say anything? Did Shaykh Ahmad Bagh say anything?
no,
Which?
I didn't reach that stage yet. I tried to take his picture in my in my mind, and just like there was not opening of any window like that, something like I
And
could
where
hear.
were you sat in the mazar? So just a picture like the sweet dekha tha. So where were you
Yes.
sat in the mazar?
No,
Were you
just
sat next to Shaykh Ahmad Bagh?
who, me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, together.
Together.
Just how I saw in the book,
Uh-huh.
same I imagined. Like,
Take it very good. At least he has closeness in his imagination, so he doesn't want to be far, he's right next to. MashaAllah, that's good. ऐसे भी try, inshallah, more practice करें. How long have you got in this before you go to India?
Yeah, I took the flight from 24th.
24th of January. So inshallah, just hopefully if we can get you, hopefully you keep on doing this exercise as Dr. Shalom has prescribed, then hopefully we can get you accelerated and quickly get you going, inshallah. Okay, well, anybody else just want to quickly read, otherwise we'll stop for Salat al-Isha. Anyone else? चलो ठीक है इंशाल्लाह this will just stop here for Salat al-Isha. Subhanakallah bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta